There are few feelings as frustrating, as disorienting, and as ego-bruising as being ignored by someone you admire, desire, or care for, especially a woman. You send a message and there's no reply. You offer your presence, and she offers her absence. You show interest, and she shows indifference. And in that silence, you start to spiral. What did I do wrong? Am I not good enough? Should I try harder? But pause right there, because that reaction, that emotional storm, that self-questioning is precisely where a Stoic draws the line. The Stoic man does not chase silence. He does not beg for attention. He does not hand over his peace to someone else's indifference. Instead, he steps back and he remembers who he is. The Stoics are philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca understood something most modern men forget. We are not here to be chosen. We are here to live in alignment with virtue, character, and reason. If someone chooses to overlook you, that is their choice and not your failure. You are not in this world to be validated by another person's attention. You are here to master yourself. In fact, being ignored can be one of your greatest teachers if you allow it. It shows you where your attachments lie. It reveals how much of your self-worth depends on outside recognition. It uncovers the cracks in your discipline, your ego, your emotional control. And that's powerful because once you see those cracks, you can begin to fill them. Let's be honest, we've been trained to believe that if someone ignores us, we need to prove ourselves, that we must try harder, text more, chase them until they notice. But this is not strength, it's weakness disguised as effort. The Stoic does the opposite. He observes, accepts, and adapts. Being ignored is not an emergency. It is not a reflection of your value. It is a neutral event, an external circumstance. And as Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So if a woman ignores you, do not react with neediness. React with sovereignty, with presence, with poise, the way a king would react if a servant turned their back, and not with outrage, not with sadness, but with indifference. Because a Stoic king does not lower himself to seek the favor of those who do not see his worth. He simply continues his mission unmoved, unbothered, and unchained. That's what this message is about. This isn't about games, tricks, or how to get her back. This is about you and how you reclaim your power when it feels like someone is trying to take it away. Let's now walk through 5 Stoic principles you must embody when a woman ignores you. Each one will elevate your mindset, sharpen your character, and turn rejection into resilience. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Stoicism begins with the understanding that much of life lies beyond our control. The thoughts, actions, and decisions of other people, especially in relationships, are not ours to dictate. So, when a woman ignores you, remember that behavior is not your responsibility, but your response. That's where your power lies. Most men immediately react. They overthink, chase, or question their own value. But that is the path of emotional slavery. The Stoic path is different. Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Her silence is just that, hers. It doesn't define you unless you allow it to. What is within your control? Your focus, your purpose, your energy. Instead of wondering why she's ignoring you, redirect that mental power toward your goals. Improve your mind, refine your body, deepen your discipline. Use the discomfort as fuel. Trying to control what you can't leads to suffering. Acceptance of what you cannot control leads to peace, and peace is strength. That's not passivity, that's power rooted in wisdom. The woman who ignores you may come back, she may not, but that's irrelevant to the Stoic. Your emotional balance is not a yo-yo string tied to her attention, it is rooted in your principles. You do not let another person's behavior compromise your character. So ask yourself, right now, are you focusing on what's yours to command or trying to control what never belonged to you in the first place? This single mindset shift separates the reactive boy from the composed Stoic man. When you're ignored, Your instincts scream at you, text her, call her, prove your worth. But this impulse is not strength, it's insecurity dressed as urgency. The Stoic approach is the opposite: calm, still, deliberate. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." In other words, it's not the woman's silence that hurts you, it's the story you tell yourself about what it means. Does her silence mean rejection? Does it mean you're unworthy? Or is it just a moment in time, neither good nor bad, simply a signal to stay centered? The modern man lives in reaction. The Stoic man lives in reflection. He allows space between emotion and action. That space is where maturity lives. To remain calm is not to be weak, it's to be powerful. A calm man intimidates not by aggression, but by presence. He doesn't overreact, because he doesn't overvalue temporary situations. He knows that what rattles most people cannot disturb him, because he's trained his mind. If you can stay calm when you feel ignored, you separate yourself from 95% of men. You rise above the emotional battlefield and enter the domain of self-command. That's magnetic, that's masculine, that's rare. Remember, calm is a choice. It's not natural, it's trained. But once mastered, it becomes your armor. So next time you feel that emotional storm rise, do nothing, breathe, think, wait, then act with wisdom, not wounded pride. This is how a Stoic becomes unshakable. When ignored, the average man scrambles for validation. He sends more messages. He tries to fix it, but this behavior only pushes people further away. Why? Because desperation repels, and dignity attracts. The Stoic does not beg, he reflects. He turns inward, not outward. He asks, what is this situation teaching me about myself? Is it exposing a need for approval, a fear of abandonment, an inflated ego? Good, now you have an opportunity to evolve. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Being ignored is your test. Will you panic or will you reflect? Will you act like a boy chasing attention, or a man building inner peace? Reflection is not weakness, it's refinement. It helps you realize, perhaps you put too much emotional investment in someone who hasn't turned it. Maybe her silence is a gift, revealing where you place your value, how easily you abandoned your center. This doesn't mean you blame her, it means you reclaim your power. You stop seeking answers from someone who's gone silent and instead, you seek clarity within. This is the way of the Stoic. He doesn't rush into action, he pauses, he journals, he meditates, he learns. Every moment becomes an invitation to deepen his self-awareness, and with awareness comes freedom from neediness, from overthinking, from trying to win her back. You stop playing games, you rise above them. So when you're ignored, don't beg, reflect. That silence may be the mirror you need to see where your true strength or weakness lies. Preserve your dignity. There is nothing more powerful, more masculine, or more Stoic than a man who refuses to compromise his dignity for temporary attention. When you are ignored, dignity whispers, "Let it be, you are enough." Desperation screams, "Prove yourself." Chaser, which voice will you follow? Dignity is the shield of the Stoic. It protects your value when others don't recognize it. It reminds you that your worth is not based on external approval. It is rooted in your virtues, courage, self-control, wisdom, and justice, not in how someone treats you but in how you choose to respond. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, lived with minimal possessions and was once shipwrecked. He lost everything, but he said, "I made a prosperous voyage when I suffered shipwreck." Why? Because in loss, he discovered what truly mattered to his inner power. The Stoic man is always in motion, not emotionally, but in purpose. He walks his path regardless of who joins him or leaves him. When a woman ignores you, the weak man stops. He waits, distracted, hoping for closure, a message, or a second chance. But the Stoic doesn't pause for those who walk away. He honors his direction too much to look back. Zeno taught that well-being is realized by small steps, but it is no small thing. This is the essence of the Stoic journey, daily growth, even through discomfort, especially through discomfort. Let her silence be your signal to go deeper into your discipline, train harder, focus deeper, build something meaningful. While others are stuck obsessing over unread messages, you're building a life so rich that silence from others feels like background noise. When you walk the Stoic path of reading, meditating, working, refining, you stop seeking validation, your energy becomes focused, and your presence becomes powerful. You become a man others notice, not because you asked to be seen, but because you refused to be shaken. Keep walking. Don't stop for ghosts. Don't turn around for those who don't walk beside you. The right people will align with your pace. The wrong ones will fall behind. That's how the universe clears the path for your growth. Rejection is not a dead end. It is a redirection. Use it. Let her ignoring you become the silence that pushed you deeper into greatness. So rise. Stand tall. Stay on your path. Not out of anger. Not out of spite, but out of reverence for the man you are becoming. So when a woman withdraws, you don't grovel, you don't become bitter or aggressive, you remain composed. That is the quiet power of dignity that speaks loudest in silence. Let her go if she chooses to go. Your respect for yourself must be louder than your desire for her. A man who knows his worth never tries to convince others to see it, he simply lives it. So what do you do when a woman ignores you? You don't panic, and you don't chase. You don't lower your value to win back someone who's walking away. You don't compromise your dignity in the name of attention. You do what the Stoics have always taught. You return to yourself. You control what you can. You remain calm and grounded. You reflect, not react. You preserve your self-respect, and most importantly you keep walking your path. Because at the end of the day, it's not about her. It's about you. About who you're becoming. About what kind of man you choose to be when life doesn't go your way. The Stoic man doesn't need to be seen, chosen, or praised. He doesn't need permission to feel worthy. He's rooted in reason, anchored in virtue, driven by discipline, and he knows, anyone who fails to see his value is simply not meant to walk beside him. So if she ignores you, let her, and while she disappears into silence, you rise into strength. You're not here to chase attention, you're here to build a life so strong, so focused, and so full of purpose. A broken bar that being ignored feels like nothing at all. Because the man who masters himself a broken bar needs no one else to complete him. Stay stoic. Stay solid, and keep walking. And ironically, this self-respect is what draws truly valuable people back into your life via those who recognize strength without performance. Never forget, you are not a jester dancing for attention. You are a Stoic warrior, measured, grounded, and inwardly rich. So, walk with dignity. It's not just a trait, it's a declaration of your self-sovereignty.